And speaking of graft, David, we understand that we have quite a number of cases currently going on, people embezzling public funds, and these again are funds that have been, considered in the budget. And don't you think it does a lot to what the country is currently facing, spending too much, and yet we don't have services trickling down to the people?
Patrick, the problem with our system is that we pay taxes as individuals. Then there is something called a civic consciousness that are paid 10,000 in terms of tax. So I expect an equivalent amount in the perhaps in the construction of roads. So I'm not seeing this infrastructure happening. I'm not seeing these investment in agriculture, in road and wherever happening. So it means someone else is putting this money primarily into his or her own pocket. So we have a problem in terms of corruption in this country, and which is making us lag behind. Because we would calculate the amount that we get that gets lost through corruption, that it would amount to some percentage of our GDP. So corruption is really taking us back in terms of utilization of what we have.
And what are we likely going to see if this trend of embezzlement of public funds continues without actually relevant authorities doing something?
What we expect to see even from Teach basically is more allocation into organization within the government that are aimed at controlling this particular menace. So like we see more funds into the NIS in terms of investigation and getting intelligence on how people are getting money not through the right channels. We're also seeing a lot into the judiciary, perhaps, that they are being made to ensure that we get these cases and the culprit brought to book. So there are many ways and many options that we see Teach putting in place to ensure a strengthening of these independent institutions so that we can perhaps curb this corruption.
But there must be commitment towards actually taming, if not completely doing away with corruption. There must be that commitment. Failure to which, where might we head as a country?
But you see, Patrick, one of the biggest challenges is that we have to understand, we as individuals, that if we don't tame corruption and we don't stand each individual to fight corruption, the government might make incentives, but they can only go up to 70%. So 30% of this corruption control remains with the individuals, and people have to be responsible and accountable, because the much we are losing in terms of corruption is tremendous and really affecting the morale and the motivation of even those who are contributing to this particular economy.
And of course, if we actually control this amount being lost through corruption, the pressure on even funding our own expenditure plan will be reduced significantly, don't you think so?
Definitely, Patrick, because even in production, I want to give you a scenario. If you're farming in your own farm and you know when I grow this and perhaps I pay taxes, some percentage of these taxes will go into waste or will go into individuals' pockets. So even your motivation and passion to work to grow this economy reduces to single individuals, because we see a lot of money getting lost in corruption. So when we control the entire thing about corruption, individual economic unit or input will get motivated and even work hard and even raise our national income. So it even demoralizes individual contribution to the economy.